Hello, my name is Jacob Kaufman, and for the past 2 years I've been the lead programmer for the Oakville High School Robotics team. Now I understand there's some disagreement right now on which competition we should participate in, and I'm here to let you know that the first robotics competition is the right choice. Now the VEX Robotics competition, the first tech challenge, and the first robotics competition all have positive aspects. However, the first robotics competition is simply in a league of its own. It's not comparable with the other two competitions. My freshman year, we took our team to the FRC for the second time, and it was an exhilarating experience. Now, we were lucky enough to get full funding, so we spent the first few months of the school year building and designing the base of our robot. And then in January, when the game was announced, we started working on the Frisbee launcher. We ended up having some problems with the rules of the competition, and I'll be happy to talk about them if you ask, but the important thing to mention is that we ranked in the top 50th percentile of the competition. We were in the top half of all the groups there, in only our second year. Now, despite that success, last year we decided to go with the VEX Robotics competition instead. We chose the VEX competition firstly because it was cheaper, and we did not have full funding our third year. There's a very big difference between a $5,000 registration fee and a $200 registration fee. So because the VEX competition was cheaper, we were able to register 2 teams and build 2 different robots to compete separately in the competition. Now, what we're having this year, this is really good. Mr. Kling is actually letting us decide which competition to go to, and that is not how it happened last year. Last year, we got a very quick opportunity to look at each of the competitions online and have discussions about which one to go to, but the team never reached a consensus. Mr. Kling ultimately made the decision to go to VEX last year. I personally was not very happy about it. You can ask anyone who's been with us since the first competition about the VEX competition, and they will tell you that the VEX competition was much, much smaller. It was magnitude smaller than the first competition. The first robotics competition has dozens and dozens of teams all in the same arena competing, one after another. It's tightly organized, it's heavily promoted, lots of local media coverage. My grandpa, he doesn't even have an internet connection, and he read in the newspaper about the robotics competition and was talking to me about it. This is a competition, the first robotics competition, is something that people know about, whether they're into technology or not. On the other hand, the VEX competition is sponsored by individual schools, and it takes place in individual school gyms. Now, one of the main selling points that convinced us to go with VEX last year was the fact that teams can attend multiple events. They talk about online how any school can run an event, and any school can run an event, and they talk about how they have them left and right all over. You can attend a dozen of these things. You can attend 5 of these in every single competition, make your robot better after the competition. And in theory, that's really great. But when I say there's probably not going to be more than 1 or 2 competitions in the area, I do mean that there's probably not going to be any more than that. It's not a matter of us not finishing our robot in time. We checked throughout the entire year. The only official VEX competitions in Missouri were a few hours' drive from the school, and the closest one ended up getting canceled. The only competition we were planning on going to got canceled. That's why we hosted our own competition. We did not host our own competition because we thought it would be fun. It was a fun experience, but we originally picked up that plan and said, let's host our own competition because nobody else was hosting a competition. That was literally the only way we could not have wasted our entire year building those robots. We just had to host our own competition so that we'd have something to compete in. And that's not bad. Like I said, I had a lot of fun hosting that competition, and I think that the setup experience and the field control system experience, I think that stuff is really great. But in terms of competing, the competition was not fun. Now, like I said, it's not like one of them is a scaled down version or a scaled up version of another one. They are magnitudes different. It's like a junior league compared to a varsity league. Take a look at this footage of the VEX floor last year. Look at how small it is. Look at how short it is. It's about 1 foot tall, made out of plexiglass sides, a metal base, and foam padding on the bottom. Yeah, you see how small that is? Now take a look at the first arena. Yeah, that's right. It's an actual arena. And we're not even talking about going to VEX, so why am I telling you about VEX? Because our returning members have somehow convinced themselves that the first tech challenge is different from VEX. They think it's bigger than VEX. They think it's some sort of happy in-between between VEX and the FRC. And it's not. Here's some numbers for you. In the VEX Robotics competition, robots had to be within an 18-inch cube. In the first tech challenge, robots have to be within an 18-inch cube. That's right. According to the official handbook, the FTC robots are no larger than the VEX robots. People were disappointed with how small the VEX robots were last year. That is the exact same size the FTC robots are going to be this year. But what about the field? It's a much better field, isn't it? No, the VEX Robotics competition has a 12-foot squared field, and the first tech challenge also has a 12-inch squared field. These are coming directly from the game manuals. Of course, one limitation with the VEX competition was that we could only use official VEX parts, and that was super annoying. The first tech challenge does not have that limitation. However, with VEX, we did not like that things came in kits. You just picked up a robot kit and put it together. You could make modifications, but you started with a base kit. That is how the first tech challenge works. You are allowed to build robots out of raw materials, but we are not going to do that. We all know that we're not going to go out, learn how to use third-party microcontrollers. We're not going to go out and cut our own metals. We're not going to buy our own metals and cut our own metals and wood just to make a 1.5 foot, a foot-cubed robot. There are 2 official kits available for the first tech challenge, and we are probably going to end up using one of those. So the same size robot, the same size field, the same materials used to make the field, like I said, foam padding on the bottom, and they both use kits for their robots. Why do we think that the first tech challenge is any better than VEX? One thing that I've heard is that the first tech challenge seems more difficult. And I'll grant you that. The first tech challenge does seem more difficult. The VEX challenge involves pushing things around on the ground. You can pick things up and stack them on goals, but you are supposed... Actually, let me check that right now. What about the VEX competition this year? Skyrise. Okay, so the VEX competition this year, you cannot score points simply by pushing things around like you could last year. You actually have to pick up cubes and put them around poles. So the VEX competition involves picking things up and putting them onto poles. The first tech challenge involves shooting balls into tubes. Which of those is more difficult? That's a little more subjective than pushing things around versus picking things up. You have to pick things up either way. So similar game types, almost exact same field, very similar robots. But why is that bad? Like I said, the VEX competition wasn't bad. Well, if we had just competed in a VEX competition, that would have been bad. I was very, very happy that we hosted our own competition. Like I said, that was a great learning experience, hosting a competition. But we would have been very disappointed if we had driven a couple hours to another school just to compete on this tiny foam mat. The first robotics competition is huge. I keep telling people, it's in Shavitz Arena. There are probably at least 60 teams in the same room, all working on their robots, larger robots on a larger arena. This is getting worldwide coverage. This is being live streamed online. People pay to get in and watch this. You know, anyone can show up to a first tech challenge and watch for free. People pay to watch the FRC. And I keep telling people things like this. I keep telling everyone this, and somehow you guys still don't understand how different they are. You guys don't understand how much bigger the FRC is than the FTC. So I've compiled a few clips. This is the World Championship from last year's VEX Robotics competition. Notice that the field is elevated on a platform. It is not actually that tall. And here is a previous first Tech Challenge World Championship. Once again, this was Oakville's competition last year for VEX, and here again is the first Tech Challenge. Notice how similar they are? Alright, so this is the first Tech Challenge, and here is the World Championship from last year's first robotics competition. Now take a look at that. The arena is taller than the participants. So are some of the robots. Look in the background. Look at how many people are watching. Now you can't hear the crowd in this video because it was actually professionally produced for First's online live streaming service. But you can see this is a large arena. You can see just how much more of a competitive environment it is. You can see how much more of an exciting environment it is. It's much more lively. Once again, this is the first Tech Challenge. This is what a lot of our members are proposing we do this year. And this is the FRC which I want to do. Would you rather do this or this? Think about it. Now, I don't mean to come off overly harsh, but our club moves very quickly in its decisions. I learned from last year that if there's something in question, I better speak up, or else the next thing I know, Mr. Kling's ordering something for it online, or Dominic's designing some part. So I felt like it was important to get this message out. The FRC is an extremely fun competition, and I really want to go back to it this year. Now, I know that we only have 6 weeks to design and build the robot, and from what I've heard, we might actually have to restart our robot, tear down the old one, and completely redesign a new one, which would be awesome. Now, I am in 3 college classes this year, 2 honors classes, and I understand that we all have other parts of school that we need to be involved in, but I am fully confident that I can show up to these meetings and I can put in the effort, and you really don't have to be there every single day. If you're involved in something else, if you're involved in speech and debate, if you're involved in, I don't know, whatever other club, If we're meeting every day, it's not like you're going to get points off. There are no points. For one, this is a club, not a class. Also, you're not going to be looked down upon for missing one meeting a week if we have 5 a week. Now, if we only have 1 meeting a week, then you better be there. But if we're having a meeting every single day, then you can go and do other activities too. That said, it is going to take a lot of hard work just to get into the FRC. We have to raise $5,000. And that's just for registration. If we want to buy more parts, that's more fundraising we have to do. $6,000 to $8,000 would be great, and obviously that's not going to just walk in. But we're not going to be able to get these rookie scholarships forever. Eventually we're going to need to learn how to fundraise. And now would be a great time to start, because since the competition doesn't start until January, that means we have until January to fundraise. It's not like we have to come up with this money tomorrow. We don't need to have one college or one engineering company give us all of the $5,000. We have over 3 months to get the money we need. We can try fundraising online, we can try selling things, we can try going around and talking to engineering companies. We have time to do that. We have time to do other projects too. You know, who said that the Robotics Club has to only participate in one competition? Maybe we'll find some other tech crafts that we can play with. And I'd be happy to talk about all of that another time, but for now, I really just wanted to get the point across. I hope you understand the first robotics competition is an experience that you will not get from the smaller competitions. The first tech challenge, I have no problem with it. It is almost the exact same thing as the VEX robotics competition. You can spin it any way you want. You can look at the shiny first logo. You can act like this is the next great thing. And I assure you, last year when we found the VEX competition, we were all hyped up about it. We thought we had found the perfect competition for our team. And I can see the exact same expressions. I think this is perfect. This looks like exactly what we need. A happy middle ground. It's not a happy middle ground. Like I said, the VEX competition and the first tech challenge, the only difference between those two is the branding. They are the same type of competition. The first robotics competition is a different competition. An extremely competitive, extremely educational one. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. You can email me or you can just wait until our next meeting on Monday. I was bored last year because it was too easy. The VEX competition was too easy. I had the programming done within a couple meetings. I was just sitting there, you know, pitching in mechanical stuff when I can. But even if we had 2 teams, we're still going to be way overmanned. The first tech challenge and the VEX competition are for entry-level, middle school, and high school teams. The first robotics competition for high school teams only. It's where you want to go if you want to have a good time and if you want to have a challenge. I'd like to leave you off one more time with this. This is the first tech challenge, and this is the first robotics competition. Which one would you rather do?